Hey there, my name is Brett, and I am sitting here with Dan Pilone, who is the founder of Element 84, which is a software development and consulting company. I know you guys do a lot of iPhone, iPad, and then, of course, cloud development. I know we're breaking down building apps on the cloud. Cloud is, there's so many things we could spend our time on learning. Why cloud and not something else?
Yeah, so cloud's kind of a buzzword right now.
Yeah,
and people use it for all different kinds of things. Where we're going to be talking about it is using it as a platform for developing applications. And so the big appeal for us, or what I get out of this, is it's a whole infrastructure that I don't need to put together or admin or pay to maintain. I pay for what I use. I have a platform that scales when I need it to scale and doesn't when I don't need it.
So you say platform, am I going to need to learn a new language, new APIs, whole different ways of thinking, different environment? What are we focusing on today in terms of new skill set, I guess?
So we're not going to be talking about a new language, or for most people, we're going to use Java. We're going to be talking about the Google App Engine, and so there's a couple different language choices. And for the Java one, if your language of choice runs in the JVM, you could probably use it there.
Okay.
In terms of ways of thinking, APIs a little bit, but ways of thinking, there's going to be some things with the Google App Engine that are going to kind of force you or push you in the direction of scalability, and so there's going to be some thinking shifts you'll need to do to kind of fit into that cloud model.
Okay, and better for migrating apps to the cloud or building new apps? Is it all the same?
In terms of building new apps, it's fine. It's a great platform to go on, particularly with the Java SDK. A lot of it maps to just standard like servlet JSP, kind of Java Mail APIs. And so it's generally easier to migrate from an existing platform to the App Engine than it is trying to migrate away. But there's places we'll call it out when we use something that's App Engine specific. Okay.
And I know you're going to show us the app we're building in a minute. I wanted to make sure that folks know, especially if you're new to the cloud and something trips you up, you can always tweet us at O'Reilly Video, and we will try and get back to you and help you walk through this. Dan actually is available for questions on that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're building today and then get going.
Okay.
So I know we're dealing with the cloud and Google App Engine. Walk me through specifically what we're going to build, kind of the endpoint.
Okay. So we're going to put together a Java JSP servlet-based app that we're going to have a number of restaurants listed. And so for each of these restaurants, we're going to have like a title information, we're going to have some description, the date they were added.
So this is kind of your Urban Spoon, Yelp.
Right, yep. Kind of a list of great places and sorted by when they were added, kind of a thing.
So this is shared information. So like I'd be able to eventually go into this thing and see what other people have put in.
Right, we're going to put.
Why we'd have it in the cloud, presumably.
Yep,
one of the reasons.
We'd be able to add those kinds of features to the app after today, and we're going to touch on some user authentication stuff. But we're really going to look at that more from the App Engine side of the world, kind of what impacts that has. We're going to use some style sheets and.
Yeah, I was going to say. Now I'm just looking at this. It's styled nicely. It's a working application.
Yep. And so really what we want to show here is that this is kind of standard HTML, CSS, JSP servlet, if that's how you want to implement it. But basically kind of what does it mean? Well, first of all, what does the cloud mean?
Yeah.
And then how does that impact building the application?
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to, by the end of the day, we'll host it.
Decision points. Did you change something here because you're going to the cloud? Did you not?
Yep.
How does App Engine fit in? That sort of thing.
And basically at the end of today, we will have a publicly hosted site like this. Fully with all the cloud resources available to it without having to really install anything except some basic development tools on our side.
And then what's the back end for Google App Engine look like? We're going to take a look at some of that too, right?
Sure. So what we're going to do, the back end of our app is we're going to use Eclipse, and we're going to use Java to do this. So it's going to be Java, JSPs.
And even just looking at this, this looks very familiar. This looks like, I'm not going, oh, wow, it's all these different APIs. Just even at a glance, that feels very JSP to me.
Absolutely right. Our servlet is going to have 15 lines of code, well, 50 lines of code, but not a lot.
Wow.
There's no container configuration we're going to have to deal with in terms of like installing Tomcat or anything like that. We're just going to throw the whole thing up in the cloud.
Okay. All right. Let's get to work.
All right.